Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's doing good. Enjoying this wonderful weekend. How's it going, Davey? Hope you're doing well. I have a pretty fun night planned. Uh, Gonna do some card readings and stuff after just chilling out for a bit. I was gonna make some music on the stream, but yeah, my brain is just fried from the amount of music I've been trying to make. It's a very lengthy process for me. CG Paradise, hello. Hope you're doing well this weekend. Can't believe it's already Sunday. Like, I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Can't every day be the weekend. I hope everybody can hear me okay. I gotta actually got a new microphone. Um, so it's all fancy. It's the XLR mic now, so the sound should be crisper than it usually is. Let's situate some things on my side. Normally, like for a stream, I usually give like a day, like a weekend notice or whatever. But this one I don't know. It's like I felt like I should hang out with you guys and just see how everyone's doing. I know a lot of people have been affected by the full moon recently and whatever astrologically that's going on. Um, so I know I have been, and hanging out with all of you kind of helps me uh, deal with things in my life too. Makes me feel better. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the camera mode I will be using. So go ahead and take me off of here and then pop this here. Boom. All right. Step my mic out a bit. What is going on, Lord Krabby? It's been a while since the last seen you or talked to you. Hope you're doing good. Some Christmas weed. Sweet. Yeah, well, I mean, we don't have it. Well, they're legalizing it to some extent where I'm at. But the most they do have it in is in vape form at the moment. It's like medical grade THC or whatever. Um, and I don't vape, but I've, got me a little bit of something, something to clear the mind when I'm writing music. And luckily, that's legal here, so I'm pretty stoked about that. So we're just gonna chill out today, talk, and do some card reads and stuff. Y'all are down for it. Um, I've thought about maybe um like I've thought about maybe like including some different things too, like on the channel, like I don't know, maybe start including readings or something, or like rune readings or whatever, um, for the channel to add different aspects of it. Smoking medical at the moment. So what's really weird is where I'm at in Alabama, they're making medical legal, but I don't think they've like hashed out the rest of the details for it. But they've upped the limit on what you can get now as far as like CBD kind of stuff. So when I went and got some recently, this was like behind a shelf, and the guy was like, "Hey, look, this is like this is medical grade, but you can get it now without a medical card." And I was like, "What the hell's changed, since the last time I was in here?" And he's like, "A lot." Like, he said this stuff right here. He's like, "You'll hit it and sit on your couch for the rest of the day." And I was like, "Take my money." So it helps me clear my head because the thing with my brain is it's super over analytical, right? So like when I'm writing music, I'll like throw away so much music over and over and over and over again. If it doesn't like work instantly, uh, or if I like edit everything, I can edit a full song. It'll be there ready to go, and then I'll notice like one detail, and if I can't resolve that detail, I throw away the whole song. And I don't care if I spent 4 hours on it. And so my brain is just like always turning itself against me, and unfortunately, it's very difficult to shut it off and focus on the process. So it helps. That's awesome. I haven't done anything like artistic. Well, I take that back. Like when I was younger, um, I used to smoke and stuff prior to like writing music with my band back in the day. Um, we used to make hitting certain vocal ranges, and I was in a metal band, so helped like me be able to scream and stuff the way I wanted to. Because what would happen is like the key to metal screams, is you don't think about it, because if you think about it, then you're gonna like put too much tension on your vocal cords or whatever, and then screw them up. So it would like help me like naturally do it without thinking about it and overthinking the process. But yeah, so far, um, that stuff is pretty good. I just have to get back to being used to it because I'm not used to it anymore. Well, it wasn't really screamo. Um, Mine was, well, back then it was. Like we're talking about like 13, 14 years ago. Um, yeah, that was screamo. And it's like today, I still mess with like deathcore vocals and stuff. Away from here. So, um, I have a project that I call Dark Prophet that I do vocals on. I actually have some music on Spotify. Ah, that was a fail. All right. I have to give you some new headphones eventually. If there's anybody coming in, um, you know, today we're just chilling out. I feel like doing card reads. I have a crap ton of oracle decks, and I also recently just bought a tarot deck. I have a Rider-Waite one, but I hate it. It's just how it works for me. So I've got this new one called the Black Tarot, um, by a different. I don't know who this artist is, but I got him from my local metaphysical shop, and the artwork in this thing is intense. So Lone Wolf, welcome in. Yeah, these cards are a little stiff. I don't usually break these out that often. Um, and a lot of these, actually all of them except this set, is pretty damn new. Like I just recently got a majority of these. Most of the time, I usually bust these out is when I'm doing readings for myself, or occasionally I'll do a reading for somebody else. But typically, the way the mimirswell streams goes, I usually kind of do card readings at the very end, um, kind of like a closeout kind of thing. But is my volume too low? Let me check here. All right. What about now? Is my volume good now? By the way, welcome in, Orion, the Cosmic Priestess. Welcome in, M. How are you doing? Normally, I only do lives on Saturday, but like I was saying earlier, I just kind of felt like I wanted to do a live today, and just kind of hang out with everybody. Let me see here. It might be some of my properties are a little off. Yeah, I'll boost it up. That should be better now. This new mic is a bit finicky, so I have to turn it up on my interface and then turn it up inside the software at the same time. So Hope everybody's weekend's going good. If I'm being honest, mine hasn't been that great, so I'm just trying to snap out of it. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. I put a lot of work into it, trying to make sure everything is the way it should be, or sounds the way I want it to, or envision it to. I try not to put out anything that I don't feel connected to myself, or channel through meditation. Kind of gave up halfway through it. All right, so we're gonna do like collective readings. So I normally don't do this pick a pile thing, but here recently I've been doing. I did I could speak today. I did a co-live stream with the angelic mystic, and their pick a pile thing is kind of like, I guess, like a fun way that they do it, and I never thought about doing it that way. Normally I just pull some cards and I read it as a one whole collective message, but I figured out that this way kind of gives more variety, right, for everybody. So we're gonna do it as like pile 1, pile 2, and then pile 3. So let me try to line this up right in the camera view, because my camera, so it's really weird because this camera right here is actually my phone working as a webcam. So I hope you all can see everything pretty well. And my OCD is kind of getting the better of me, but it's fine. I have to just let it do its thing. So pick a pile, 1, 2, or 3, whatever resonates with you. And I'll give you guys a few minutes to pick one, and then I'll go through them. Pile 3. Good choice. The other day when I was doing readings with the angelic mystic, nobody wanted to pick pile 3. Carlos, how are you doing? Pile 2 for Lord Krabby. Lord Bella, you got number 3. All right, got number 3. 3 showing some love here. That's nice. Actually, I might have to take myself out of the corner here, so that way those who get pile 1 can actually see what it says. But we'll wait. We'll wait and see. Oh yeah, I forgot I have the slow chat thing on. That's not good. Should cut that off. Pile 3. Man, pile 3 must have some like heavy hitter in it. I'm curious to see what it says now. We got 2. I'm gonna go with pile 1 for myself. I feel kind of gravitated towards pile 1. Give it just a second, just in case there's anybody else that wants to pick a pile before we get started. Wish I had like a countdown here. That'd be great. You just like run a timer and just say like at this point is when we're gonna let the countdown begin. All right. So if you pick pile 1, which I think I'm the only one that did, so they're all in reverse. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn, which is kind of funny because I'm a Sagittarius and Capricorn cusp. So it's really funny for me to pull out, surrender to the divine. Full moon. So just right. It's my OCD will get to me if I don't. And then hold your vision. So basically pile 1 is saying that granted, like, how we all go through struggles in life, and we get frustrated because something isn't lining up the way we feel like it should be. And we get mad at the gods, or we get mad at the universe, and we go, hey, I've done all that I can. Why are you biting, why are you biting my hand or spitting in my face, kind of thing, right? And I feel like this, pile 1 is just saying, hey, just remain calm and, keep steadfast, right? Which is my problem. I deal with that. Like, that's why I picked pile 1. Just because it's been kind of my issue this weekend. So, just telling me to keep my focus. Right, there's a goal. So if you pick pile 2, so we have here, have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. We got this in reverse, so to me that means you really just need to focus on this. Full moon in Sagittarius. Ironically, we are in Sagittarius season. Look at the bigger picture. And a blue moon. I love this phrase. Believe in the impossible, right? Like once in a blue moon. So what I'm seeing here for pile 2 is maybe there's something like you feel like you need to do, right? And you're too afraid of putting that foot forward. Maybe it's like starting a new job, starting a YouTube channel, or some kind of project, right? And I think that you're kind of hesitant about it. And even though you just keep having this dream of, yeah, this is what I want to do, right? Like, you have the bigger, you see this direction that you want to go. You see how you want it to pan out. You see, you're seeing it a lot with. I'm getting like you're seeing it a lot with your third eye, in your imagination, and you've built this up, right? And then I feel like you just need to just focus on the bigger picture. I feel like you're narrowing your view too much. Like, maybe you need to expand and broaden. Maybe you need to collaborate with some people first, but not lose hope in this. And that's where this believe in the impossible comes in, right? Is that you need to stay focused and know that as long as you keep manifesting, right, you keep putting that energy out, it's gonna work out the way you want it to. This dream that you're having will come to fruition. But the thing is, I'm kind of feeling like, I don't know, maybe inspired to tell you that you just need to take that step out, right, and just and do it. Stop putting it off. I feel like everything's been telling you to stop putting it off, and you keep like procrastinating because you feel like, oh, now's not the right time, or what if I fail, or I only want to do it this one specific way, and because it's not going to be this one specific way, it's not the time. No, this is like the universe saying that you need to do it now, And granted, it may not be 100% in the way that you feel like it's going to start out the right way, but sometimes it takes a few people to help you get started, right? Or it takes widening your gaze a bit to give you some wiggle room to get started and get taken off, right? Because you have to have no force being put on you from the sides for you to continue to move forward. But if you start putting that pressure down and narrowing that way, it eventually gets stuck, and you don't want that. So I think pile two, whatever it is that you're dealing with, or whatever it is that you want to do, I think now is the time for you to do it, and stop putting it off. Hey Sarah, welcome in. We're doing, well, I'm doing collective readings for everybody, so we'll be doing like different piles and stuff, and you can pick from a pile and get a reading about whichever one resonates with you the most. All right, so pile three. I get this card in reverse. Well, hello, second Sarah. How are you doing? Nothing is yet set in stone. The mutable moon. Take time to breathe out. And prosperity lies ahead. This is interesting. So, I'm going to line them up like this, so that way it's easier for me to go through these in detail. So if you look at this card, you see these waves, right? Yeah, it's talking about stone. Stone is more set in its way, right? It's like immovable to some extent, unless you put a lot of force. But the waves, they flow back and forth, back and forth. They're not set in one particular way. So I think this is telling you, just like the waves, they flow back and forth, which can be the outcome of this situation, whatever situation it is that you're dealing with. And what's really weird is I kind of feel like maybe it could be a job, maybe, or a promotion or something. That's kind of what I'm getting, or I mean, or just a project that you're hoping to make money off of. Because it's getting this take time to breathe out motion, right? This disseminating moon. Maybe you just need to relax a bit. I think that's what this is saying, is like, you know, nothing's set in stone, right? And you can try to influence it as much as you want right now, but I feel like this is saying like maybe the universe has already got your back, and it just wants you to relax and just pay attention. Because I notice like a lot of times fear and anxiety can cause you to screw up something that the universe is trying to do for you, right? And it could be trying to help you out in different ways, and you can hinder that. But it's like at the end of it, prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus, where, you know, I don't really feel like, I mean, this could be money for some of you, right? But this could be a victory, right? Or of some sort, is what I kind of feel from this. I feel like whatever it is that you're dealing with, pile three, that the universe has got your back, and it's just saying, hey, you know, don't try to hinder what I'm doing, don't try to influence what I'm doing, but I want you to sit back and watch, right? It's like it's saying, sit back and watch me help you out, because if you sit back and you pay attention to the universe and you start noticing how it works and start noticing the signs of how it can always lend a hand and pull you through it, then pull you through whatever hardships or whatever you're dealing with, then you begin to gain faith in it. Then you begin to trust in the universe more. It's like, as for me as an individual, I'll tell you this from my individual struggle, is I am so guilty of not trusting that the universe has got my back. And I can't tell you how many tarot readings, how many mediums or whatever have told me that I just need to let go and trust in the universe, and let it take over and help me like it wants to, because sometimes we can be our own hindrance, right? So pile three, my recommendation is, whatever you're going through, Just relax, breathe, and trust in the universe. Because you don't want to get in your own way, right? And you don't want to get in the way of the universe. So it's saying, stop, let me take control, let me handle this situation so that way you come off on top, right? And that's what I'm seeing for pile 3. So I hope that these messages resonated with each one of y'all. Uh, I know pile 1 did me, but I'm curious about pile 2. A lot of people picked pile 3. And I know that right now in the States, and especially in the US, we're going through like some hard economic stuff right now with jobs and different things, and layoffs. So I'm kind of feeling like maybe that's another thing it's telling you is like, hey, just have faith, trust in me a bit more, the universe and or the gods or whatever you want to call it, and we'll definitely help you out. So that's what I'm getting for those piles. Hopefully, those resonated with you guys. Oh, that's really cool, Em. So I'm a Sagittarius, cusp, and Capricorn, but my 3 signs technically from my birth chart is Sagittarius rising. No, Sagittarius is my sun. My moon is Aquarius and Scorpio rising, which is really funny because I do not get along with Scorpios at all. And for those of you who are curious where I got the Star Dragon meditation inspiration from, it was from this set right here. So when the Angelic Mystic streamed on Twitch as Solitude Spins, she used this deck a few good times on there, and I never was called to dragons, like, ever. Like, I've heard of people connecting to dragons during meditations and different things, and I was kind of like, skeptical about it. But eventually, these cards kind of called to me more and more and more, and I got them and felt heavily connected to them, and I've been using them since. I think that the Angelic Mystic, she still uses these in her pick a card readings too on YouTube. Yeah, yeah. So I'll say, Orion, I don't know much about astrology. Um, there was one thing I did read, like when trying to figure out like some of the starseed stuff. It was like, oh yeah, you can tell your starseed origins from like your birth chart or whatever. So if you look at my chart, my natal chart, a mass majority of my chart is all in Capricorn. And I relate more to every aspect of a Capricorn than I do Sagittarius. But then again, I am born on December 20th. So my birthday is actually in 9 days. Yeah, yeah, it's in 9 days. This deck is really cool. I've got a few of them. Like I've got another one called Dark Mirrors. This one is basically about shadow work, right? So like anything that your inner demons are, this one's pretty good about calling them out. And then I have this other one called Oracle of Souls, which is really cool. I like this one. I haven't used this one that much because it's just got a lot to try to process and deal with in that one. And then I also have the Moonology one, which I just used, and then I have this one, which I also learned about from the Angelic Mystic a couple of months ago when they streamed on Twitch. She used them a lot, and I kind of connected to it a bit. Thank you. Yeah, I heard that if you have a lot of Capricorn placement, you're usually associated with being an Orion starseed, which I am. Like that's the one I've discovered that I was through extensive meditation and everything else, right? So, I mean, this is not the only ones. I have a big one called the Celestial Buddha Meditation, where it's like Buddha mantras and different stuff like that. And then right here, I have two rune sets that I use. One I made with by my hands, and then the other one is made out of bone that I bought. And plus the artwork on these cards is really good. Let's find two more that's like actually upright. Seems like this, yeah, okay. So these also have constellations in them as well. Like I know there's one here for Orion. I want to say it's like the destruction card. Let's see if I can find it. I can find it at the moment. I'll find it. So out of Orion, which one do you connect with the most? Al-Natak, Al-Nalam, or Mintaka? Or the others? I mean, I know that there's more. Like, you have Rigel, you have Betelgeuse, you have, what's the other ones? There's a few more inside the nebula. I don't know. I don't know what the names are. The only downfall to these cards is they're hellishly slicky. I like slicky. Hellishly slick. And so they'll like go all over the place if you are not careful. Mintaka, very nice. Water people. I am an Alnalam all the way. It's very weird because I know Sirius, I think it's Sirius B, is supposedly like very similar to Mintaka as far as like the water-based ETs like Mermaid. We have a jumper. Where'd it go? Buddy decided to go right up under my desk here. Why is this upside down? Interesting. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Hate it when that happens. Boom. Alright. It's the weird part about using a phone for this is you gotta adjust it. So that's the jumper protection. Finding what's important. Alright. You got some jumpers. That might be good. It's 5:55 for me too. Central time. I used to remember the numerology meanings for that. Well, I don't know if you can see it. I have the entire constellation of Orion on my arm. And I was always drawn mostly to Allen. And then during meditation, I had like I guess visions of a planet or like a place. And then over different various meditations over and over and over again, it was determined, you know, like the origin from there. And then there's a bunch of videos out there that talk about like the personality traits, right, of an Orion, and it's basically me all day long. And I was heavily drawn to criminal justice and stuff, and usually that's what Orions are pulled to a lot. Is being in a position of authority in a way that they can help people. And I'm very analytical, like, and I come off cold sometimes because of it, which is a massive Orion trait. Come on, guys, I know that there's an answer in here. There's got to be a third card. I mean, if there isn't, I'm just gonna have to go in just two today. I'm gonna do two in each one for this one. All right. Yeah, it's really funny because I've confirmed, because I've seen this in meditation too, because we all have technically, we have cosmic parents, right? That would be associated with our initial um, first birth or incarnation into whatever. And so I've consulted with some mediums and stuff, and I know mine because I've had dreams about them. And so on this arm, I have Orion, but on this arm, towards the top of my arm, right across, like up here, I have Sirius B, like the Canis major constellation, but the biggest freckle out of them all is where Sirius B would be. And so in my dreams and stuff and through mediums I've worked with, my father is from out on the limb. Not my earth father, but my cosmic father. And then my cosmic mother is from Sirius B. So technically I'm a hybrid, which you can be both, you know. Your soul is infinite, so you know, we don't always exist as just one star seed for or one ET race, you know, for forever, right? Um, yeah, yeah, we do express it in a like a very logical way. I mean, a lot of times it's like, for an example, like if you're in a relationship with someone, right, and you guys are like having like a heartfelt discussion about something, sometimes as an Orion, you're often quiet because it's just like you know that whatever you say is going to come off wrong. So it's just better to stay quiet sometimes. Even though you don't mean it like in the worst way possible, you mean it in the best ways. I see you have, okay. That's cool. The one that's written like an M, so you're talking about like Awa, not Awa, is it? Yeah, it's Awas. Isn't it? Brain's not working for some reason. I'm operating on like little to no sleep. Let's see. So no Manas looks like it's just basically an M, but it's got like it's like two backwards P's. Yeah, it's Awas. That's right. I was right. Even with no sleep, I'm right. That works. All right, so we got three piles. Give y'all a few minutes to pick pile one, pile one, pile two, pile three. Uh, whatever you feel so called to. If you don't feel called to any of them, you don't have to pick one. If you feel called to two, it's okay. You can pick one or two, two, three, whatever. Mix them up, however you want to do it. Um, and then I will pull from them in just a second. Yeah, see, a lot of people mistaken me for like being a smart ass or like sarcastic or whatever. A lot of times when I'm not intending to be, like, or you know, or I don't care or not emotional or unemotionally involved, yada yada yada. But I'm like, as an Orion, we come off that way. Granted, we do have like we can love or whatever, but our brains just are wired different, you know. So pile two for M. Actually, here, let me add some like some ambient music. Let me go. That was pretty loud. Hopefully this isn't too loud. If it is, just let me know. Buddy Kane, how are you doing? Pal 2 for your mom. Pile 1 for Orion. Pile 2 for M. If you feel called to more than one too, you can pick more than one. I'll move my face out of the way for this one, so that way you guys can actually see the whole thing here. There we go. Still not even. Bothers me, but oh well. Cut on the Star Dragon's meditation, so if you hear a dragon roaring, it's okay. We are using the Star Dragon's piles, so only fitting. Alright, so pile 1. Ooh. So we have challenge, standing up for your rights. It's really funny, because if you look, is that, I can't tell if that's Orion or not. I want to say that's Orion. Right there in the constellation. I could be wrong. Been wrong before, right? So if you look at this, you see this dragon, he's got fire in his mouth, right? He's ferocious. But you see this little guy right here. He knows that regardless of his size, he's ready to take on this bigger problem, right? And if you look at this imagery right here, I see this dragon, this problem being deeply rooted in something. But you know that you have to take care of it. And he's going forward regardless of how big this problem is and ready to take it on, right? And that's what I see in this card. Now for card 2, we have trust, right? In reverse. So this to me is telling, because there is no reverse meaning, so when I get a card in reverse for these cards, I usually just say it's something that you really need to focus on. So we have trust, love, and friendship. And you look at the little dragon, just chilling out, loving on the person, as they're just relaxing. I feel like maybe you need to trust in yourself enough to know that you will take care of this problem, you will overcome this problem, right? And that it's not bigger than you and it's not going to overthrow you. And that you will get to this problem, because I keep focusing on this deeply rooted aspect where this dragon's arm is basically growing into the earth or whatever. I don't know if you would say this earth, but it's like this aspect of earth that it's connected to. It's just growing into it. And I'm feeling like maybe you just need to trust that you can overcome that problem, right? That you can heal yourself. And I just keep feeling like you're going to overcome it, and you need to know that you're going to overcome it. Whether it's like, could be an addiction for some of you, it could be some shadow work that you might need to do, right? But I feel like if you trust in the universe and you trust in yourself, maybe this even means that you need to trust in some family or some loved ones to help you get through it. And it'll work out for you. But I feel like, yeah, you gotta, whatever challenge you're dealing with right now, you need to know that you're gonna win, right? You're bound to win despite how big it may look. So that's what I'm getting for you, Pile 1. And I hope that it resonates with you. Sometimes we just got to open our mouths, and speak. Because sometimes we don't really know if there is somebody that's close to us or whatever that may have the answers to the problems that we're facing, right? And it's okay, whether it's like mental health or some other problem. Find somebody that you feel like you can confide in, and confide in that person maybe. I'm glad to hear it resonated with you. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing that you will win, right? Because you see this small dragon and this woman right here in this imagery. She looks just relaxed and chilling out in the cosmos with, or a cloud with like this little dragon hanging out on her. You know, I feel like whatever the problem is, you're definitely gonna come out on top of it. All right, pile two. Choice, understanding consequences. Gonna let you soak in that artwork for a minute. Your second card is a monochrome card, which is something we don't get that often, but it's called Space. What I'm seeing here for pile two is if you look at these dragons, right? They're very different. They're different in size, and they go way back, right? It's like almost there's like two back there. You got two over here on the sides, and then you got two in the front, and you got one in the center. You definitely there's many choices, right? I view this as like a Hydra situation. Like if you attack this problem head on and cut off one head, two heads are going to grow in its place, right? Or three heads are going to grow in its place, or however many. So, but you need to understand the consequence of if you attack one head or versus them all, right? Now, what I'm seeing in this space card right here, I feel like this like for pile two is confined, right? I feel like you're confined, and that's the reason why I'm seeing the space card is like maybe you don't feel like maybe pile two doesn't feel like you got enough space to make a decision, right? You don't have enough space to make a choice, a specific choice that you need, right? I mean, there's so many options, there's so many ways to attack this problem, but you don't know which one is the right way to go about it. Which is where it says choice, but you got to understand the consequence. So, what is the consequence if you attack it a wrong way, right? Or what is the consequence going to be if you maybe don't, right? If you don't go against it. And maybe this is the thing is like you need that space to make the right decision because you kind of feel like maybe there's like a lot of outside influences coming in to try to force you into making a decision that you don't need to make, right? Or like forcing you, because let me tell you, so I've had a lot of people who's like, you've got choices A and you got choices B, the red pill, the blue pill, but I'm going to put so much pressure on you that I'm going to kind of, force your hand into taking the red pill, but you could easily want the blue pill, but you can't think clearly because there's so much pressure on one side versus the other. And that's what I'm seeing is like this person has choices that they need to make, and that there's somebody who's influencing them in a manner that is going to cause them to make the wrong decision. And there needs to be space given for this person to make the right choice, to choose the choice that they have to make for themselves. And sometimes we can get outside influences, right? Being like, oh well, you tell me what choice I should pick, or you tell me what choice I should pick. And I feel like that's not the case in this situation. This person needs to decide it on their own. But they have too many people telling them what they need to pick for themselves. And I think that this person needs to stand up and tell everybody to shut up and take time for themselves to decide which choice is best for them. Because they don't want to risk making a wrong decision. Because with all these fiery faces and all these dragons in the back, I feel like this decision that this person has to make is a very important one. So my advice to you, pile two, is to silence everybody who's trying to put pressure on you to choose the path that they want and choose and make the right choice for yourself. And don't let anybody influence that other than you, because you know the answer. And at the end of the day, this is your path to walk, no one else's. So I hope that this resonates with you, pile two, and I hope that you can tell whoever these people are to be quiet, so that way you can make this decision in the most efficient and effective way possible for yourself. Because I hope to see you come out on top of this problem, and especially if it's such an important decision, like I'm seeing in this card right here. If it's that important of a decision, you need to really make sure that whatever you choose is what you want. So I picked pile three. So I got two reverse cards. So bliss, cherishing the day. You see the mermaid chilling out and playing with the dragon. It's kind of like the sun's going down. They don't care, like when you're a kid and your mom tells you to be home when the light when the sun goes down, but you're having too much fun and you don't really care to. That's what I'm seeing in this, is just happiness, right? Just taking it, enjoying the moment, living in the day. Second card is miracle, making a difference. And that's kind of like what I'm hoping to do, for everybody. Is my goals with this channel is to try to provide music to help everybody and to make a difference in your lives and help you connect to whatever deities, whatever energies and spirits that you wish to connect to. Because, I know how difficult it can be to try to connect to these energies on my own, and or without someone trying to help me in some form. And my goal is just to try to help you in your spiritual path as much as I can. So I hope that whatever I'm doing musically helps all of you. And I hope that maybe these card readings are helping you in some form. Or whoever is going to come back and read this and pick a pile for themselves later. So I hope that these cards resonated with you. Let me get some water here. Alright, so we're going to bust out with the deck that talks about shadow work, right? Things that we need to release and fix within ourselves. So I'm going to separate these up into piles. Whatever you guys resonate with, let me know. And you can pick that pile. I'm probably only going to do 2 piles of 3 cards. Or 2. I don't know really yet until I'm done shuffling. And it'll tell you different things that you can do to help with yourself with some shadow work. Kokui, sort of. It's oracle card readings. So they're very similar to tarot, but the meanings are just pretty straightforward, for the most part. So it's a little easier for some people to understand and process. And welcome in, by the way. Thank you, Mom Teachesus. Yeah, Cookie Bunny. I mean, if you just want to sit around and hang out, I'm doing pick a pile readings, so I'm about to shuffle in just a second. I'm just kind of building up a little playlist at the moment, and then we'll dive back into doing some readings. That should be enough. If you're curious, I can do a reading for predictions for you for 2023. So I can do pick a piles for that. But I'll do that probably towards the end. Alright, so this is the Dark Mirrors set. This is going to point out different things within yourself that you need to fix to further your spiritual progression. Now, I will warn you, these cards do tend to be a bit brutal. So do not be mad at me, be mad at the cards, right? Because these cards are notorious to hurt somebody's feelings, and so you might want to approach this with a thick skin. But if you do not choose to participate in this reading, you don't have to. But to me, I feel like everybody needs a little guidance, right? And what they need to do some shadow work on. The gods know that these cards beat me up constantly anytime I use them. Uh, uh, uh. I was thinking global society wise. That's really difficult to. You can't always be 100% right with predictions sometimes because everybody still has the right of free choice. So predicting something kind of and being accurate about it 100% takes away a person's decision to make a. Takes away a person's ability to choose a different decision, right? So I can have somebody tell me you're going to die on your way to work if you ride a bike to work. If I ride a bike every day and then that one day I choose, okay, well, I'm not going to ride a bike because I changed my mind and my thought process, maybe I won't die because everything is subject to change because we as people change not only every day, but we also make different decisions. So not every prediction is 100% because it's always based around the fluidity of the person who needs to make that decision making it. If that makes any sense. I know it's probably really weird to explain it, but you know. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a seer. I'm just a man who reads some cards and hangs out with his community, makes music. Hopefully in 2023 we'll have some ETs come and land and chill out with us, right? Maybe put Big Pharma out of business. Learn how to heal ourselves. That'd be awesome. That's some good decisions. Uh, I'll do 2 piles. I'll do 2 piles for this one. Since this one seems to be a bit brutal, I'll do 2 piles with 2 cards in it. So that way, it's like ripping off a band-aid, right? It hurts for a minute, and then we'll dive into something different after that. Alright, chat. So, if you feel called to, pick pile 1 or pile 2, just let me know which one, and I will flip them over and see what the cards have to say for you. And see what things inside your darker side, your shadow self, that maybe needs to come to the surface so that way you can resolve it to further yourself spiritually. And then after this, I'll do like a light reading, right, with like Keepers of the Light, and get some uplifting messages. Pile 1 again, alright. Pile 2. Pile 1. Pile 2. Even. Alright, we're getting even. Let's go. Get some more water here. Now keep in mind, I'm just a man reading some cards. Alright. I do not want to hurt your feelings or anything. It's not like I'm intentionally set these cards out. So, pile 1, I'm about to get started on your reading. Ooh. I won't cry for you. This card is pretty brutal. Now, if you look at the symbology in this card, see she's got like a hard blood drop in her hand, but her eyes have been crying till they're bleeding. So this card comes as accepting defeat, right? You need to accept defeat in some area in your life. Maybe it's a relationship that you haven't let go. Maybe it's just something in your past that you need to let go of, but yet you still allow it to have power over you. And you keep crying and crying and crying and crying and crying over it. But the thing is you need to say this: I won't cry for you. You need to stop giving it power. Only you know what this is, right? So let's see what the second card is. So we have this in reverse, so this means that this is obviously something you need to focus on. Downcast pride. So if you look at the hair, it's adorned in gold and everything, but you look at it here, it's not rooted. It's like separated from the earth. It's no longer grounded. This is a card that represents, pridefulness. Maybe you won't let something go out of pride. Maybe you're too proud to let it go. Maybe you're waiting, like maybe it's an argument between you and a loved one, or you and a family member, or maybe you and an ex-partner or something, where you're like, well, I'm not apologizing, or I'm not letting it go because they didn't apologize, or I'm not letting it go because they didn't learn their lesson, and everybody's exactly the same. That's your ego, that's your pride, right? And I think that this is telling you need to uproot that. Just get rid of that. You know, because if you pluck it up from the roots, what does it do? It eventually dies, right? And so this is saying that you need to let whatever in your past that's holding you down, that you spend so much energy and emotional stamina and energy crying about, you need to let it go. And it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. You need to stop and let it go for your own spiritual progress and your own self-development, right? You can't focus on the future if you're too busy looking behind you. You know, if you're walking backwards, you're always going to run into an obstacle. So pile 1, that's what I'm getting for you is it doesn't matter who's right. It doesn't matter if you were the one that hurt somebody or they were the one that hurt you or yada yada yada. You gotta pluck it up from the root and just let it go. Focus forward, you know? Kind of, yeah. Kind of like humbling yourself to start a new beginning. It's very similar to that concept. But, you know, it's like, imagine how much easier it is to breathe and how faster you can run if you take the weights of these problems off your shoulders. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm seeing here for you, pile 1. You just need to just let it go. You've shed your last tear, right? And you're standing up and saying, I'm no longer going to cry for you. And you're going to throw this pride away. You're going to throw away this ego, throw away this ego self, this toxic mentality that you're still a victim, because you're no longer a victim. You know, you're stronger than that. And that's what I'm seeing in these. So pile 1, you know, you got to let it go. And when you do, you're going to feel so much better. So I hope that resonates with you who've picked pile 1. You know, I hope that you like Orion just said, ironically, cut the cord. You know, pluck it up from the root, right? And move on. So pile 2. All right, so we have fragmentation in reverse. So if you look at this card, you see the image of this woman. She's broken, right? She's cracking all over herself. So you're not allowing yourself to be whole. So why are you not allowing yourself to be whole? Let's see. Peaceful among thorns, because you find peace in being broken and being hurt. You kind of have that there's beauty in suffering kind of mentality, right? You need to pluck these thorns out. That's what I'm saying, because you're never going to be whole. You're never going to be whole if you continue to allow yourself to remain in this situation. I feel like you're in a toxic situation and you know you need to get out of it. Like maybe there's a toxic friendship, relationship, something that you're dealing with. And maybe there's some toxicity that you need to get away from. But unfortunately, you've masked yourself to the toxicity for so long that you feel peaceful among it. That you're sitting there in all this drama, all this negativity, and that's where you find your peace. Because you see this monk, he's like meditating, but if you look really closely around his eyes, it's like one eye is blind, right, and the other eye is closed, and his ears look like they have like muffles on them, right? Like he's really drowned himself out to the stuff that's going on around him, just to exist and to survive. Pile 2, I feel like you think that you're surviving, but you're not. You're cracking, you're breaking, you're losing pieces of yourself that's important. So in this, I'm gonna caution you, please, whatever the situation is, you know your life better than I do. I'm just a person reading some cards here. Uh, you need to open your eyes and escape because it may feel fine right now, but you're steadily losing yourself. You're steadily losing yourself. You need to be your whole self, you know? Pile 2 through. Yeah, yeah. I picked Pile 2 for myself, ironically. Yeah, you keep blinding yourself to a situation that you know is toxic, but you're losing who you truly are by remaining in it and blinding yourself and deafening yourself to the situation. Because it's, I mean, you can very well easily, like in 2 piles, 3 piles, whatever, you can resonate with more than one. So that's why I always say, like, you know, if you feel drawn to more than one, there could be another message in that one for you. But yeah, pile 2, I recommend that you really contemplate and open your eyes and start to see what's going on around you and break yourself free from that. I hope these readings resonated for you guys. I try to avoid using this set a lot because they tend to be pretty brutal. Um, However, these readings didn't seem that rough. I have had a lot worse ones from this set, so uh, I'm glad that they didn't cut into anybody too hard. So we're gonna lighten the mood here with Keepers of the Light. Yeah, both piles seem to kind of say the same thing, ironically. It's like, um, you need to stop shedding tears for something that you can, and to let it go. And, and also remaining in toxic situations. I mean, I could see very easily, like, how those two relate. Hold on, let me skip my own intro here. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we're going to dive into Keepers of the Light, which is one of my favorites. Contains a lot of universal energy, right? This is the reason I like it, because it's got so many different beings in it. I try to shuffle from the side, but fail at it every time. I'm not that lucky person who can manage to pull it off every time. Let me try that again. That was a failure. That didn't go well at all. Ah, there it goes. I'll see. We'll do 3. We'll do 3 with this one. 3 and 3. There we go. I'll open this space up a bit more. So pick pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. 1, 2, 3. Or you could pick more than one if you want to go with 1 and 3 or 2 and 3. How long have I been doing what? Reading cards? Recently. Fairly recently. Well, let me take that back. I usually do like a couple of oracle card readings like at the end of my live streams, but here recently I've been reading from these cards a lot more. Rune readings I've been doing for about 16 years now. So I've been doing it for a while. 3, 1, 2. So all 3. Well played. Well played. Pile 2, pile 3. I'm gonna go with pile 2 myself. Alright, so let's see what we got in pile 1. So we have Lord Shiva, Transcendence. Rise up, honor your inner force, sorry. Steps are being given, dance with the universe. I can never say his name. Dwal Kul. I could probably be saying it wrong. Dharma unfolding. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. And then we have the White Eagle Ancestor Spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. Which is really interesting because I'm seeing something interesting in this. This right here is saying that you need to focus on that inner force within yourself. So your higher self, your spirit self, right? And that steps are going to be giving from the universe. Like I always take this Lord Shiva card, right? Is like direction from the universe. And it's saying right here that your Dharma is unfolding. And remember that you're on a path. Take one step at a time. So I keep seeing this steps and steps again. And then maybe through these steps, you will heal some family wounds or some stuff in your lineage that, you know, has never been healed before spiritually, right? Because sometimes that spiritual trauma can carry all the way down to us, right? And I feel like it's with you, you're gonna break this cycle. You're gonna free yourself from this familial curse or whatever you want to call it. So I feel like for you who's picked pile 1 is that you're on a path that is meant for you to walk at this time to free yourself. Because if you break this tradition, you break this curse or this toxic trait that your family has always had, because this right here is confirming that you're on your way to happiness, and then this dancing with the universe confirms that you're gonna be working a lot with the universal spirits and energies, but it can also like be happiness as well. But family wound or pattern can be healed now, so this is telling me that yeah, you're gonna be able to heal some stuff. Especially, I'm seeing like you need to work with your ancestors too, like maybe do some ancestor work as well. Call upon your ancestors during meditation, almost like your spirit guides, connect with them. But I'm seeing it's really interesting for you, Pile 1, is like the path that you're taking is very different because no one in your family has done it before. So of course there's going to be a lot of pressure on you, maybe spiritually, to mend things that should have been mended a long time ago, but never been able to. Welcome in, Jeep Guru. Thank you for being here. Sort of. I picked up runes fairly easy. And these surprisingly are pretty easy because I just kind of interpret them. Like I've read the books and stuff on these cards and everything, but I kind of interpret them differently because I feel like a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? And I kind of go off of intuitive stuff, I guess. I've been trying to hone in on my intuition lately when it comes to readings. So I hope that resonated with you, Pile 1. I definitely see some family wounds being healed if you continue on your spiritual path in the way that you are. But you just got to take it one step at a time. So Pile 2. So we have, in reverse, Archangel Michael. I really don't like this card, but I have my own personal reasons. Trusting heaven. You are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. So right now, Pile 2, maybe there's some situation where you kind of feel like something's out of your hands right now, and you've done all that you can, which is something I caught on to in one of the earlier readings, is that you're kind of sitting stagnant, and you need to surrender to the divine a bit and just trust that everything's going to work itself out. So I'm kind of getting that same message here, Pile 2, is that you need to trust in heaven or whatever you believe in, trust in the universe, right? And surrender your concerns. Don't stand in the way of your own blessings, right? And allow a miracle to happen. Card 2 is Mother Mary. Love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. So what I'm seeing here, Pile 2, is that you just need to choose to let go of the need to be right at the moment. Maybe the situation that you're in where you're having to trust that the outcome is going to happen, maybe you got other people arguing with you in one specific manner or another, and you have to say, and you're trying to tell them, no, listen to me, I'm right, and they don't see it the way you do. But maybe that's what I'm kind of getting, is like, let go and just let the divine comfort you and focus on some divine feminine energy at the moment. Why don't I like that card? There's a long story behind it. I mean, it's like really long. And then we have Isis. We had this in reverse, right? The magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. So it's like, once again, I see that in this trusting in heaven card, right? And this whole need to be right. Just stay in your energy, stay in your love and your peace and your serenity, and know that, you know, the divine has it, right? Everything, the universe knows what you need, and it's manifesting it for you right now. And that's why it says it's becoming a reality. You just got to stay focused and don't get discouraged, because your discouragement will cause you to act in a way that you can hinder the universe from blessing you. And I'm recommending that you don't do that. And that's all I'm getting for Pile 2. And I hope that this resonates with you, Pile 2. And yeah, just don't fight it. Just Don't fight with anyone. Stop trying to tell them, well, the universe has got this, and they're trying to tell you to handle it a different way or whatever. Just tune these people out and just say, you know, I'm just going to trust that the universe has my back. Like I said in an earlier reading, which is really weird because this kind of coincides with that reading a bit. And just let the universe help you out for once. Stop fighting it. So we have Mary Magdalene in reverse for pile 3. Teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. That's really interesting here. I feel like you pile 3, and I saw this in an earlier reading with you. There's something that you're trying to do. And something that you know you need to do, but you've been hesitant about starting it. And this is telling you as a confirmation, once again, pile 3 is like, don't let nothing stop you. Stop stopping. We have Radha, Soul Flame. This is the wife of Lord Krishna. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship, harmony, and healing. This could also represent love, but at the same time, this could, right here, just mean any relationship for this reading. And this also ties into that fragmented card as well. Rediscovering a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship, harmony, and healing. Interesting. Let me see if I can get the bigger picture here. Prayer and contemplation with the charity card. Connect with heaven and ask, and you shall receive. So what I'm seeing here, and for you, pile 3, let me pull this up here. There's something that you need to do, and you know you need to do it, but you've been, you know, avoiding this inner call, this pull. And I saw this in an earlier reading that you've been hesitant. And this is telling you, like, stop letting something stop you. Maybe, and I'm kind of getting like, maybe this is a friendship or a relationship. Maybe this could be you know, a love reading or whatever. Let's see if I can get this camera to focus a bit more. There we go. I mean, I feel like you're a heavy manifester, right? You're manifesting constantly, even subconsciously. You're manifesting, but you're too afraid to take the steps necessary. But I feel like if you maybe, whatever it is, like I'm seeing it as a potential relationship, maybe, or like it could be like romantic, platonic, whatever, a work relationship. Maybe, no, because I'm actually, if you think back on the reading I said earlier, there's like a collaboration, like you need to widen your gaze a bit. I see a collaboration thing. Maybe there's somebody that you need to consult with or work with, or somebody you need to ask for help that maybe you two didn't jive in the beginning. But this card right here is telling you, I'm not going to say heaven because I like to speak in the terms of universe, but ask and you shall receive, right? I see that you're like an ultimate manifester. And whatever this is speaking of is going to happen, but you got to stop stopping it. It's okay to ask for help, pile 3. You just need to, you know, stand into your power, step into that power, and ask for help. So pile 3, I hope this resonates with you in whatever form. No man can walk out on his own story. You're really right with that. Alright. So I am going to bust these out. Now on these you will have to be patient because I will have to consult the book on this because I am new to tarot in a whole. I'm not new to oracle readings. I'm not new to runes, but tarot I'm pretty brand new to. Let me consume some water first. Is everybody awake? Is everybody wrong? Vibing still or no? Welcome in, Zero. Oh, you mean this one? You've got this deck? I've literally only had it since Friday. Yeah. uh, this would literally be my third reading I've done with it. No. All right. Save. Alright. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Everybody's been like not vibing with technology recently for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the energy's just weird. Alright. Man, these cards are dark. And they're blending in with my table. Creatrix Inks, welcome. Or Ink. I don't know why I said Inks. Terribly sorry. Howdy, welcome in. So I'm definitely gonna have to put a crystal on top of all these for you guys to actually see the artwork. So I'm gonna do 2 cards from each for each one of these piles. Let's do blue kyanite. Those quartz. So we're gonna put crystals on top of these to make them easier to pick. Well, all right. Yeah, pretty much. I've noticed that I'm kind of developing a theme with a lot of my cards, really. Like, they're all very dark. And one of the last co-streams I did, Wednesday actually, with the Angelic Mystic, I did mine, like, everything on mine was dark, so I was the dark side of readings, and they were the light side of readings, which kind of was pretty cool. Alright. Alright, so we have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. You can pick whichever one you want, whichever resonates with you. You can pick more than one, of course. Like I said, be patient because I will have to consult the book on these because I'm very new to understanding tarot. So this is going to be for like a short and sweet outcome of 2023, what we can expect, right? And as for me, I don't know which one I'm vibing with the most, so I'm gonna pull a little trick that I have seen one of my favorite tarot readers, the Angelic Mystic, does when they are unsure. Is I will consult my pendulum. So let's see. Pile 1. Pile 2. Pile 3. Pile 1. Alright. So I got a pile 1 for me. I will have to consult the holy book. Not the Bible, of course. I do not own one. So we have 2, 2, 1, and 3, 3. Feeling 1 and 2. Okay, okay. 1. That's what I'm vibing with. I'm vibing with 1 here. My pendulum said no to these. I could ask my dowsing rods, but I'm not grabbing those right now. Alright. So, this is the blue kyanite. Usually associated with the throat chakra. Alright. So, let's see what the cards say for 2023. So we have the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Cups in reverse. It's really weird. We have 2 aces for this. So, I'm afraid to see what this means for us. Let's pile 1, people. Let's consult the cards. I'm trying to get into working with tarot, you know. But it's been very finicky. All right, so the Ace of Swords means it's time to make a decision, considering a new way of thinking or use logic regarding the situation or relationship. So the symbology of this card is a single sword floats in darkness, and its sharp clarity is a source of light. So this card means that you need to utilize. Yeah, no. So yeah, you need to utilize new thoughts and logic for this, right? Yeah, yeah. So breakthroughs, mental clarity. So you'll definitely be using a new way of thinking or a new way of handling problems, or you need to approach this problems differently for 2023. I kind of see this, like, ironically, as like taking a stab in the dark. You know, the old saying, like, you know, you're going to try different ideas, try different things, because, you know, that's the only way you're going to find out what works and what doesn't. Let's see what this Ace of Cups means. And that's in reverse, so this looks going to be interesting to figure this one out. So Ace of Cups in reverse means misplaced feelings towards someone or emotional immaturity. So maybe this is really funny because I'm seeing a picture here for you, Pile One. It's like you need to approach things differently for the next year, right? And maybe you need to stop approaching things from a point of emotional immaturity, right? Maybe maybe it's a bunch of feelings that you held on towards somebody. Maybe you need to let that go, right? Do some shadow work, like I mentioned earlier. Somebody's holding on to feelings, like that whole "I won't cry for you anymore" thing. And I'm seeing that energy, like, you need to let it go and try to approach things differently and try to handle it from a standpoint of more emotional security within yourself, right? So pile one for 2023, I would recommend that you approach a situation differently, right? You don't and stop coming at it from a standpoint of just being 100% emotional. Maybe you need to be balanced, right? With that 50-50 feeling. With that, you know, balance it out and just say, maybe I can have some emotion, but combine it with logic. Stop wearing your emotions on your sleeve. That's what I'm seeing for you, pile one. That throat chakra. I'm seeing that maybe, you know, it's weird that I picked blue kyanite for this. Maybe you're just too busy, like, maybe you get emotional and you run your mouth and, like, have and are very sharp with your words. You know, like, maybe that's where you use your tongue, which is usually in different standpoints referred to as a sword, and to cut people, to cut them down when you're in a state of emotional insecurity or instability. And maybe you need to learn how to bridle your tongue a bit. Since I picked rose quartz for pile two, I'm assuming that this might have something to do with the heart. So we'll see. So I just kind of went with what resonated for this. We have the Six of Wands in reverse, which is interesting. Then we have the Knight of Spheres, which is basically the Knight of Pentacles in this deck. So what does Six of Wands in reverse means? Let us take a peek. Public humiliation and failure. Let me check the second cards, maybe to get a bigger picture here. So so it's really weird that you get this because it's like the public humiliation, failure, all these different things, right? But this card right here means that you're goal driven and reliable. You know, it's time to take decisive action that leads to concrete results and find the solution and act on it. I feel like you're approaching something, you're going to be approaching something in 2023 that you're going to be hesitant about, which is something I saw in past readings as well, because maybe it didn't work out for you. Or maybe it's going to result in you having to ask somebody for advice. Excuse me. For advice, right? And this Knight of Spheres saying that you need to become more goal-oriented. You know, be a business person, right? Or maybe approach things from a different standpoint. Because, and I'm seeing like a rhinoceros in this for some reason. I don't know if it's intended to be one, but that's what I'm seeing. In the Six of Wands in reverse, I see him like a person who's just like, you're laying down and dying because, you know, oh, I don't want to deal with this, so it didn't work the last time. Kind of, I hear excuses, right, when I look at this card. I'm like, excuses, 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 excuses. And this card right here is telling you, like, since this is the only one that came out upright, it's just like, look, be goal oriented. Maybe open your mouth. Like, maybe that's what these, like the past readings that we're talking about stuff like this is like, maybe you need to come from a standpoint of maybe asking other people for help. Like, you're being too narrow minded. Once again, is the sense that I'm getting. Because if you look, I see these little dots, I'm assuming, which are representing stars or the wands energy for this. They're wider towards the end, but they're closer around the head. And maybe I'm just like, that's that thing where I kept saying earlier in the reading, you need to widen the space around you to make the right decisions, to maybe let people help you out, right? Make a better choice. I'm like, maybe you need to go and, like, maybe there's a family, a friend or something that has the skill set to help you, but you're just too afraid to ask them, right? Because, you know, maybe you two had an argument at one point and you told them, oh, I don't need you. Maybe that's where that humiliation is coming in. But maybe I'm not really seeing it as humiliation, actually. When I look at this now, I'm seeing it as like a standpoint of, you need to be humble, right? You need to be humble and approach this from a standpoint of respect and humility, right? And say, hey, you know, can you please help me? Let's be this rhino energy, right? And just, yeah, just be this rhino, push forward, you know, and plow down the things ahead, the obstacles ahead for 2023, so that way you can just remain goal driven, right? You piss off a rhino, that thing is going to come after you. Don't care what's in your way, right? So that's what I'm seeing, is that you just need to approach things from a standpoint of humility for 2023 and collaborate with someone, right? And I think that's where that humility is coming in. And I saw this in like all these pick-up piles so far. Is like, I don't know why my camera keeps glitching, but whoever this is that keeps getting this reading right here, I'm saying, like, this message has just been shouting at you over and over and over again. You need to approach something from a standpoint of humility and collab with this person and ask them for help. You need to ask them for help. And if you do it right and you go with it with sincerity, 2023 is going to pan out, and then you're going to be able to do that thing that you've been wanting to do, or to get that help or accomplish that goal that you've been wanting to accomplish. And I don't know why I keep seeing this over and over and over and over and over again in my readings. And it's crazy because I'm like, who is this? It's not me. I mean, you know, it's just somebody. I picked pile 1. I'm not in pile 2. So that's what I'm getting for you, pile 2. And I hope it resonates. So we got the raw yellow selenite for pile 3. So let's see what this has to say. Thank you, Zero. I'm glad that you like my interpretations on it. I just kind of go with what I'm feeling, while I'm reading. And then usually kind of ties in together really heavily with sometimes with what the book says also. Because I usually just kind of use the keywords and then I hone in on the energy and I start to see the bigger picture. Bye, Em. Thank you for hanging out. You think you know, huh? All right, pile three. We have the Emperor in reverse. Then we have the Knight of Cups. So let's see. So, Emperor in reverse represents an abuse of power, cruelty, dictatorship, and narcissism. Which is really funny because let's see what the Knight of Cups means. Let me get a bigger picture here before I open my mouth. Romance and seeking what you love. So, Knight of Cups represents the warrior carries a cup with an important elixir or cure to be delivered where it is needed, regardless of the challenges. The symbolism in the card is a figure rides on a horse that is walking on water. They're on a quest to find their passion and their purpose. I feel like you're dealing with a narcissist. Maybe this that toxic situation that I saw in the last reading for you, Piles, like for earlier, Pile 3, is I feel like maybe you're in that toxic situation, right? Where you're drowning out all the noise and you're just blind, right? You're stuck in this toxic situation. Maybe you're dealing with a narcissist, or you're dealing with somebody who just thinks they're better than you, or maybe a form of abuse, really. And then you're going to be free from that in 2023 because you know that you need to be, you need to set yourself free, right? And you're like walking through this water, right? And you're looking for your sense of purpose. You're looking for a sense of hope, maybe love or a new romance or friendship or something along those lines, right? Maybe that's what you're looking for. And I think that what happened to my music, man? Yeah, so I don't know why YouTube started doing that. So I feel like for you, what I'm seeing is it's really interesting. Is what I see in these two cards is you breaking away from a toxic situation in 2023. You stepping out of negativity and you going to find your path, whether it's finding a love, a soulmate, a friend, friendships, maybe even a new job. I mean, you know, you're seeking to have that cup filled, right? And you're carrying it with you with whatever little bit of stuff that's in it. And you see the reflection, you know, in the water as you're riding your horse along, and you see yourself clearly for the first time in a long time because you're free from the toxicity. You're free from the chains that have been binding you down for so long. So 2023, I feel like is your breaking free year. You're going to be free, and you're going to become yourself, the better version of yourself, and even find love. Maybe. I mean, I would say be open to that possibility. It is vast and huge. It really is. But the thing is, it's like it's hard to narrow that down because everybody's situations are so different. I'm just seeing a massive breakaway from toxicity. That's what I'm seeing. Is like you're getting out of a toxic situation in 2023 and becoming a better version of yourself and being free for once. That's what I'm seeing for you, Pile 3, which is probably why I picked selenite, right? Is selenite removes negativity. It gets rid of it, chews it up and spits it out, turns it in, just doesn't even transmute it. It just gets rid of it. You need to realize that you're giving this toxicity power over you. No, I understand, Creatix. Thank you for being here. I'm terribly sorry that it's triggering you. Pile 3 resonates hardcore. I just see a better version of you in 2023. You're stepping into your own energy. No, no one said it was because you weren't healed. I'm not putting any assumptions on you, Creatix. I mean, if you just don't vibe with the energy, I get it. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. Or if it's too much for you right now, I mean, you are the author of your own life, I just kind of get this thing with this. It's like, you ever hear the whole story? It's like where the woman is married to a prince or a king and she hates him and she doesn't want to be with him and he's toxic and he's just, or she's tired of being a servant, or she's tired of being confined to this town back in like the old medieval movies, that we see sometimes, and she just jumps on a horse and just hauls it and just doesn't look back. And instead she's looking forward, and she's just got whatever cup of maybe just like a small belongings in her hand. Maybe the cup is her hand, cupping maybe a necklace, some jewels that she may have had at one point, and just running just to get away from it, to be themselves, right? Because they've been trapped under this identity for so long of their pain and of their suffering. And that's what I'm seeing for Pile 3, is that you're going to be free for 2023. I hope these messages resonated with you, with all of you. I hope they didn't upset some of you. As I said, I'm new to reading tarot, so this is my third reason with this deck. The first one I asked when I first got the deck, what will my connection to this one be? With this deck, and the first card that popped out was the Fool, telling me that my connection with these cards is going to be really great, and some solid readings are going to come out of it. So I've really enjoyed this set. I was called to it when I went to the metaphysics shop a few days ago. It's really beautiful cards. If you want to get this set, let's see, they give you some details about where to find it on the back. So this is the artist You can find them at blackart.victoria on IG. And it's called the Black Tarot by Victoria Iva. It's a wonderful deck. I don't even think, I mean, it might be published. Yeah. So it's a really cool set. Um, Probably the only tarot cards I vibe with. I have this set. This was my first set I bought, and I don't really like this set. It's very well. First of all, it's cheap, but secondly, I didn't vibe with it. I don't like the artwork. I just didn't connect to it at all. But the other ones I connect to pretty heavily. So I'm gonna do one final reading, and then I will set all of you free for the rest of the day. And I appreciate all of you for hanging out. Oh, you have the holographic rider weight. Yeah, I mean, it. That's the way with everybody. You know, it's like to me, I like view it like picking a wand in Harry Potter. Not everybody can just grab one and go to work with it. You know, you gotta connect to it and absorb its energy just right. Oh, 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 oh. There we go. So I'm gonna do this kind of like a what entity has advice for you or something to tell you, right? So I'm gonna do three piles, only one card in each. So to give that entity some room of its own, to communicate. Yep. Welcome in, Timothy. No, you're fine. Right now we're doing a pick a card and thing of what entity has advice for you. So we're doing it in like pile one. Well, so this one would be pile one, pile two, pile three. So just pick whichever one resonates with you. There can be more than one if you want. I think I'm actually going to go with 1 and 2. It's really weird for me because I've not done a lot of readings with this set yet, but that's the ones I'm connecting to. Give it a couple of minutes if anybody wants to pick one. I don't have a Ouija board. That's the one thing I've never bought. But I do have dowsing rods. I use those to communicate with beings sometimes. Alright, so I'm going to just flip them over since I picked 1 and 2. See what we got. So I have the Morgan in reverse. Introspection and opposition, well, antipy. Person that wrote this or created this deck isn't English, so I'm sure that means like empathy, but alright. Weaver of Fates. So I feel like the Morgan is telling me I need to look within myself more. And through that I will be able to overcome, you know, opposition. Which is really interesting because I've been facing a lot of opposition here recently. Card number 2. I have Hawthorne reverse. Meditation, communication, and culture. I haven't been meditating as much as I should, but my communication has been always suffering. So I feel like maybe these two are telling me I need to look within myself. Maybe the opposition I'm dealing with is me. And I won't figure that out except, you know, until I meditate on it. And open myself up to the communication, maybe to the divine and to those around me, right? Alright. Card number 3. Let's flip it around. Vantha. Caretaker of the lost. Respite, assistance, and memory. I feel like maybe this is telling you that there's going to be some divine assistance coming in to help you out, you know? And it's really funny because I'm kind of getting a feeling like maybe there's some memories that you're holding on to that could be preventing you from moving forward. and that's why they're coming to help you out, is to try to provide you comfort at this time. So Vanth is going to come and assist you with that. I'm not really sure if they're... I'm going to check the book, because I don't know if they're like a... Are they like an archangel, whatever they are? I'm not really sure. It's the first time I've ever gotten that card. Let me see if I can find their origins. Okay. Vanth, the caretaker of the lost. Vanth guides the dead who become sidetracked and misled to their proper places. An agent of Hades' mercy, she helps them recall that which they need to know most about themselves to continue on in the afterlife. Benevolent and dedicated, Vanth provides that which is most needed at the point where it is most needed. She inspires us to trust those we deeply depend on, and that the tools which will aid us will be there and easily be found at the critical moment it is needed. It is important to rest, to breathe, and to not give into panic or fear. So, Vanth represents, you know, kind of like what I said, is that maybe that divine assistance being there, and maybe that there's some stuff in the past that's preventing you from moving forward. Like maybe you're just forgetting that, maybe you're forgetting to trust that assistance is there, like that you will be helped through these problems, right? Maybe you're taking your trust out of the divine. That's what I'm seeing here for card 3. I totally didn't connect this to being a Greek person though, like a Greek deity. Because I do know that Hades is in this set, actually. So here, let me find him. I'll show you Hades. So here's Hades. It's got the golden apple, which if you know anything about Greek mythology, you'll hear about that story. I just actually had to take a quiz on it, which reminds me, once I'm done with this, I have my Greek mythology class exams for college. So, but that is Hades. So he's the equivalent. He pairs with this card. So every card has a pair, right? So if you look at the bottom in the symbology, just like we have Hathor here, we have Anubis. But we also have Set in here as well. Oh yeah, we also have Nyx, Greek goddess of the night. Yeah, so there's Set. We also have Lilith, but we also have God in here, El Shaddai. We have Osiris. Ereshkigal from ancient Sumeria. The artwork on these cards is amazing. So I hope that resonated with you. Pile, well, technically pile 3. Because I think that you were the only one left that picked a pile on that one. I actually got this set right here from Amazon. You can get it on there. I'm a big fan of this publishing company. They did my Star Dragons one, my Dark Mirror one. Because the artwork and everything on their sets are always great. Eric, how are you? Thanks for coming and hanging out. So I'm hoping all these readings resonated with those of you who got or picked readings. Let me do it this way. There we go. Thank you for being here, Orion, the Cosmic Priestess. Hope you enjoyed the readings. Yeah, unfortunately, my other counterpart that talks about starseed stuff, she wasn't available today. So maybe next time you can catch a live stream with them on. And my eyes are super dry for some reason. And we can talk about all that good stuff. Because they have a Mystic Martian deck, which is really epic looking. And it's got like all the ETs and the various different galaxies they come from. And plus she has way more than me. Way more Oracle decks and everything. Actually, here I'll share her link too, because she does pick a if I could talk today, pick a card readings. and I just recently did a live stream with them. Let me share the link here. So go give them a like, sub, and subscribe, and click the bell icon. Tell them I sent you. Yeah, they're my other half, so it'd be really cool. Show them some love. And if you want to catch the live stream that I did with them, you can watch it also. That's the image address. Catch this here. And if you want to watch the live stream where we did pick a card stuff, that is on their channel also. Yeah, you are more than welcome. I am actually about to sign off and hang out making music for the rest of the night to add more content to the channel. I've been working pretty hard. Actually, first I got to do my college work, then work on music. It's all about prioritization, right? So thank you all for hanging out and supporting what I do. You guys mean a lot. Yeah, a lot of you don't realize it, but you do. All your feedback's amazing. I can't believe how far this channel has grown in over a year, like a little over a year. Like, I don't know yet, Koku Bunny. I usually channel the energy of what type of meditation track or something I need to make. And then that's usually how I decide. So like, I'll try to meditate and see what kind of energy comes through, and when I'm writing my music, I just kind of go with it. I cannot believe that this channel is almost at 32,000 subscribers. Crazy, because I hit my 1,000 subscribers Thanksgiving of last year, you know, so it's crazy to be this far already in such a short amount of time. And I'm humbled by it, truthfully. So everybody who supports what I do, I'm grateful for all of you, and I love all of you. And hanging out with you guys, you know, re-energizes me and reminds me of why I do this, you know, and gives me that energy I need, that collective love, and keeps me running with it. So I'm about to sign off. I'm going to try to start streaming more consistently, doing lives on the weekends, so hopefully I can get that going. I'm still planning to do the Underneath the Stars stream. I just have to get the weather right, because it's been very weird weather here recently. So once I can get a fire pit set up in the backyard and get the camera positioned in a way where you can see the sky just right and the fire pit at the same time, take my keyboard and everything out there and just make music and just hang out underneath the stars for the night. So it'll definitely be fun to do, and I'm looking forward to doing that eventually, weather permitting. Thank you all for hanging out and getting reads. I appreciate all of you for everything that you guys do. Let me close out of all of that. You guys go relax. If you haven't checked it out yet, I dropped a video last night, well, this morning, I think, somewhere around that time, called Bear Shaman. It's my recent video. Um, I had a lot of fun making it. It actually, what was really funny is like after I wrote it and recorded like and was editing it, it put me into like a meditative trance while listening to it, um, which was pretty funny. So that's why I was like, told people, please do not use this meditation unless you're at home. So this is the recent video, the Bear Shaman video. I hope that you all enjoy it. Um, yeah, and go check out the Angelic Mystic. Um, show her some love, as much love as you guys can show her. Give her a sub, give her a like, drop some comments on her videos. She has an Etsy too, so if you would like a private reading from her, she's also a medium and psychic. Well, a medium and a psychic to me, I think, are the same thing, but then again, I'm ignorant to some extent, so uh, what do I know? But yeah, go show them some love and tell them I sent you. And I will probably end up streaming again, doing a live on their channel as well. So make sure you hit that bell. So if you want to come hang out with both of us over there, you can. More than likely, I'll have them back over here. Um, hopefully this weekend, not this weekend, but the upcoming weekend. Um, to do a live with me, because it would be my birthday is next Tuesday, so I'll probably try to do another live on the 17th and get that scheduled. So love you all, and hope you all have a good night. Rest of the night. Uh, be safe. Make sure you lock your doors when you go to sleep. Don't let any strangers in your house. And you know, beware of the draconians. And you know, don't have no scorpions or snakes in your bed. Make sure you check under the covers. But till then, till next time. See you guys later. And gals later.